man, so like this one time, I had this girl, right? And she...
My name's Nick, welcome to Jackass.
That's the socks.
That's the socks.
And we're live.
Talk about holograms.
Excuse me?
And we're live.
Oh, and we're live. Oh, shit.
I don't believe you. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the Detail Garage. Now Javier and I have been getting a lot of questions about detailing or our personal lives, so we thought today would be a good time to take some of those aside, answer your questions, and also maybe bring in some new questions. So before we continue, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also comment down below on things that we didn't cover and things you guys want to know about. So Javier, let's get started.
Cool. All right, so we have Josh Cordova. He asked, can you guys go more in depth about Carbon Flex C9? So the ceramic coating, when you apply multiple layers, exactly what is it? Does it add extreme shine or just added protection? Or is it, or if it isn't ceramic coating, do I need to purchase something else? This guy has a lot on his mind. What do you think, Nick?
All right, take it away.
No, you take it away. I asked the question.
You're giving me a tumor, you know that, right?
Why? Is a bad question?
Answer the question.
Alright, you know what? Alright, Josh. Well, Carbon Flex is a protective coating, so it is a coating. So you're correct on that one. So, but you could add multiple layers, but you want to do that after you polish because, you know, a coating like C9, it lasts up to 3 years. So you want it to be as perfect as possible. So you definitely want to do the whole shebang. You want to wash it. You want to clay it, get rid of all the contamination on the surface, get it all smooth. And then when you polish it, you get rid of all the scratches and the swirls, make sure the paint is really nice. Then you add your C9, get that level of protection. Then you want to top it off with, let's say, a glaze or even a sealant, and then get that shine from a wax. So it's definitely a coating, and it's definitely, you want to add it before your wax and the jet seal, but after a polish. So yeah, Josh Cordova. Now we got Mohammed Kabir asking, can we polish a car in a cold weather, or what temperature should we do polishing? What
That's
do you
a
think?
good question. A lot of the times when you're working in detailing situations, you're not going to have a perfect temperature. So we recommend always polishing indoors because then you can have the most control over the temperature at least. And being too cold isn't really a problem, but being too hot is, because if the surface is hot, it's going to change the effect of the chemical. It can dry out, which would cause the polish not to diminish properly, which gives you, improper results. So, being too cold isn't really an issue, but too hot definitely is.
Cool. Yeah. So we got another one. It's from D's Nuts. This actually does say D's Nuts, as it says, I'm here. Your socks are fresh to death. I agree. You've seen my socks; they're pretty damn fresh.
Fresh is a loose
term. What about to die for?
Sure.
Is that a thing?
Let's see. What does that say? Laz Parr says, reminded me of the pottery scene in the movie Ghost.
I think they're referring to the Rotary polish where I couldn't really do it and you had to help me out.
Oh, my love, my darling.
And you had to grab my hand, so it's like, da-na-na-na-na, take my breath away. Is that the same movie?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And we're moving on.
Okay, next question.
So the Fast Gunna says, what do you guys recommend for headlights that are just starting to oxidize? Like they're just barely starting to?
Well, if it's barely starting to oxidize, you don't need to go all heavy, right? You don't need to go with the sanding, the different grit. You can just use like something like the one-step polish.
One-step
headlight
polish,
restoration.
V36, orange pad. It's best to polish it now and then seal it. This will prevent it from getting any worse. Or if you don't have access to a polisher, at least put some kind of wax or jet seal on there just so it doesn't go completely oxidized.
Yeah, you don't want to wait till it's too far gone and then you can't even get it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't even get it back.
Like your relationship.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
What time's your mom off?
Son of a... Why is she right in the baby maker? Owen Mowry says, how do I avoid creating holograms? This is your expertise, creating holograms. So how do we avoid those holograms?
Man, holograms, dude. Ooh, holograms. Well, you definitely want to keep it simple.
So what my colleague is trying to say is holograms are created when the pad isn't completely flat on the surface. So when you have it at an angle or at an extreme, edge, this creates a hot spot along the edge of the pad, and this creates marring as you're polishing. So if you keep it nice and flat, nice pressure on there, that'll prevent it from adding too much pressure in one area. This way you get the perfect results by taking off the very fine layer of the clear coat, all in the uniform fashion.
You don't want to get tiger stripes either, so you want to go halfway what you did before, right? When you
50% of your last
50%.
pass, that'll give you a uniform shine.
Yeah.
You right there, buddy?
Yeah. Just, phew, it's hot in here.
Okay. What's that say? Robert Drown?
Robert Drown. How do you do an inspection before the detail if the vehicle is really dirty? Well, just like we've done before, you definitely want to wash the car. That way you could truly inspect if it has any scratches, swirls, or any imperfections on the paint. Because when it's dirty, it's covered up with all the contamination, and it covers up the little things. And it's the little things that count, the details. So when you wash it, you wash it away, all the filth, and you get to reveal the real paint that's underneath and see if it needs a detail.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
All right, next one. Rosendo Velasquez says, "Where's Jen?"
She's around.
Yeah.
She still works here. All right, take it back. I'll read this one.
Okay.
Francisco Arroyo writes, "Wait, so I can use Pete's 53 for my hair? Save me a trip to the store."
Looks good, Nick. I like your hair.
Yeah, Pete's 53 works in your hair. This is not recommended, but sure, give it a shot. Robert Navarro says, "I have a quick question. How do you get awesome suds like that? What PSI is the pressure washer and brand you guys use? I bought this big mouth foam cannon, but I want to get suds like that, so I would like to know what pressure washer will be the best." What do we use? A Troy-Bilt?
Yeah.
Troy-Bilt gas pressure washer. I mean, it doesn't really matter the brand. It's all in the gallons per minute as well as the PSI. We run pressure washers from about 2,800 PSI to 3,100 PSI, and about 2.4 gallons per minute, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it meets the requirements of your foam cannon, you're going to get great results every time.
Yeah. And there's like little tips and tricks also you can do. Like when Nick shows you, it doesn't shake the bottle, you don't create the foam inside. You want it gently.
Yeah, and also using warm water, that helps with the agitating of the soap. So just things like that.
Just the little things, yeah. And if you just want more, just add like another ounce of soap.
Yeah, the more soap, the more foam.
The more the merrier. All right, let's see. What am I doing wrong if the Torque 10FX and the Hex Logic pads are spitting polish everywhere? Actually, I don't know.
You don't know? Some kind of detailer.
Shit.
So let's see. Let's start from the top. It says Moto Muscle 3. What am I doing wrong if the Torque 10FX and the Hex Logic pads are spitting polish everywhere? Usually what this means is there's too much product on the pad, and also it's spinning at a high rate. So what you need to do is either back off on your polish or blotch it out more before you do your actual polishing, bumping it up to the high speed setting. This should reduce the amount of that. Also, if you add a little bit of water to your pad or pad prep, that should help it from doing that.
Cool. Learn something new every day. Alright, so Adrian De La Rosa, how often should the polishing pads be replaced, and how often should a car be polished? Once a year? And honestly, it just depends on the car too, right? Like you want to do once a year, possibly maybe twice a year if needed, but you kind of don't want to do it because every time you polish, you're taking away a little layer of the clear coat and you get closer and closer to the paint.
You're taking more paint off. Here's the thing, is that a polish can last a year, can last a month, it could last a day. I mean, it's only going to last as long until, the next time you touch it. Because that's the only way that cars really do get scratches and swirls is from washing it and drying it. So if you don't touch the car, you don't need polishing it as often.
True. And for like the polishing pads to be replaced, you could honestly do a whole car with just one pad. We get that question a lot too. It's like, oh, how many pads do I have to use for one car? I have a big car, a small car. Or like how many panels? You could use one pad for each car. All right, and then we have the last question. The Boz 568 asks, if I just went straight into V32, then 34, then 36, and finished with 38, would that be a problem? I have some deeper scratches and I want to remove them. Could this damage the paint?
Go for it. Take it away.
Well, I mean, it all just like everything, it just depends on the car. Some scratches are too deep; you can't really cut through it. You might have to need to wet sand it, or get even deeper than that. Or some just are too far gone. But yeah, you definitely want to test it out in an inconspicuous area to see if it's even needed, because some areas don't even need a V32, and you just need a V36 or a V38. But definitely, we say try it out in an inconspicuous area before you just go straight to V32, because you could be doing more like harm than good if you go straight like that. Plus, you don't want to do more work than you have to, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Save yourself time and effort.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. So again, if there's anything we didn't cover or there's questions you still have, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you guys next time right here in the Detail Garage.
You can talk at a normal rate this time.
You think you're funny? So we like to have a lot of laughs here in the Detail Garage, Javier and I.
Oh,
But I'm here to talk about something serious. Packs of wild dogs are taking over most of the major cities. That's late night.
I've never done this before. You know. Hey. Time to go under the
Chippendale
desk
going on here.
Oh, you need something from? I'm gonna get something from the stairs downstairs. You need
Okay,
something?
go ahead. The frame ends
too short.
right there, you know that, right? I'm a simple car guy.
You're a car?
I'm a car guy. Actually, in kindergarten, they asked you, what did you want to be when you grow up? And the kid said, I want to be a firefighter or an astronaut or a police officer. I said a car guy. So I guess I made it. Mama, I made it. I'm a car guy.
So like a transformer or
Yes, I can transform.
Optimus Prime?
Isn't that funny? As soon as the camera turns on, your brain just goes completely dead.
It's not only when it's on.
I have a question. How come we never use those paint things, to check the paint? What's it called? Like a laser thing you put on the paint and then it shows you if it's repainted or wasn't repainted?
That's it.
Is that,
This interview's over.
Isn't
Probably we're going to bring that up.
That's my question. That's my answer.
Where's the rotors guy when you need him?
Actually, do you really want to know why we don't use those paint gauges?
Yeah.
On a serious note, paint gauges, although they work great for measuring how far you have until the metal, they don't tell you how far you have until you hit clear coat, or from clear coat to paint. Does that make sense? So say this is your paint, or clear coat, keep fucking that up. And this is your substrate, metal, plastic, whatever you're doing, right? And then you have a layer of primer and everything else. So the measurement is only going to tell you from this point to this point. It's not going to tell you this point to this point to this point to this point, because there's multiple layers in your paint. Clear, however many layers of clear. Your actual paint, you have primer, and then that goes right down to the metal.
Dang, I'm gonna stop taking NyQuil. I'm just gonna listen to you talk.
Excuse me?
Your touch alone